What's up, bros and hoes, or whatever floats your goat? It's your boy Relentless bringing you a brand new edition, a brand new episode of Division Builds. Now, I'm not one and I've never done a Firecrest build, but I've done the research, and since it was brought to my attention that back in my heyday I was known as the Disco Inferno, that I decided to put together a Firecrest build set. And I'm trying to cover all the build sets, whether, I'm particularly partial to them or not, just for the sake of trying to cover each and every one of them. Now, keep in mind, there's different variations of this build, and you should go into making one of these builds, if you choose to do so, and base it on your all-around playstyle. Because with everyone's different playstyle and different playstyle mechanics, you can adjust accordingly to how it best suits your needs and how best you would like to fulfill the role as your own Disco Inferno. Cue the disco music. But anyways, moving on. As you can see, 4-piece Firecrest, specialized and savage. DPS just barely got enough, as you can see, to unlock all the talents on my gear, which is basically all I needed was 4790 to unlock brutal, responsive, and fierce. But there are other talents that require far less that you can also use to your advantage to better suit your needs for this build. But the main component for this, whether it be like this infantry MG5 that I have or any other weapon, as you can see in its third talent, is determined. Killing a target reduces skill cooldowns by 7.5%. And this comes in really handy, especially if you don't want to spec completely and totally into skill power, such as you would do on a tech build to make your fire turret even stronger, but yet you still want to put down DPS and still be very tanky. And as you can see, I'm running Vicious, Destructive, and what needs to be determined. Magazine size, 102%, crit hit chance, rate of fire, rugged mini reflex sight, 7.5% crit chance, 4.5% optimal range, 5.5% headshot damage, SR7 suppressor with crit hit damage, headshot damage, optimal range, and reduced threat. And my hand stop, most importantly when it comes into any belt-fed LMGs, is reload speed, and 2.5% accuracy, and 2.5% stability. And going along with the theme, as you can see, I got the Inferno Blaze camo on. Also, my other weaponry, I have my baby, my Bay, the only, what I prefer best over all other ARs is the lightweight N4. And it has brutal, responsive, and fierce with 106% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, 3% crit hit chance, the awesome VX1 scope with a trifecta of 17.5% headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance, and 4% critical hit damage. Omega Rifle Suppressor, 17.5% headshot damage, 2.5% crit chance, 4% crit damage, and 47% reduced threat. The large underbarrel, 18% crit hit damage, 2% accuracy, and 2.5% stability. And to go along with this Inferno build is the Inferno camo. Now let's get right into the gear. Starting with the chest piece, I have a nice stamina roll on this, nice armor roll of 1246. And 4% health on a kill. I had an option to either keep health on here or health on a kill, but in keeping the balance of the builds, whether you like to be PvE or PvP, this can be best suited for either or. Because no matter if it's actual players in the DZ or NPCs, they all get all nice and toasty. And pretty much burnt to a crisp. So the health on a kill does come in nice and handy. And let's go over the talents for the Firecrest. The 2-piece is 3 Incinerator grenade capacity, which is not that big of a deal, except for when you apply the 4-piece talent, your weapon damage is increased by 15% against burning targets. So the Incinerator grenades do come in handy because you set them mofos on fire and you get that 15% damage buff. And the 3% set bonus is 50% flame turret range and 30% flame turret damage. Moving on to my mod slots, 261 stamina, 271 armor, and 242 firearms, and 264 armor. Moving on to my mask. You can use different variations of mask if you want to be a little less on the skill power and opt in for more DPS, then by all means do so. I just happen to have these, and they have a good armor roll on them at 978. The most you can get out of a mask is 1001. The major attributes is skill power and plus 17% burn resistance in the minor attribute. You can easily swap that out if you're able to for enemy armor damage. And in its mod slot, I have 256 firearms and 270 armor. Moving on to the knee pads, 1241 stamina, 1198 armor, also another good armor roll. And as you can see, another 27% burn resistance, 28% blind death resistance, and 10.5% enemy armor damage. Moving into the mod slots, I have 260 firearms plus 271 armor plus 7% turret duration. Moving on to the backpack, I opted for the specialized backpack over the Firecrest Micro Shuttle Pack. As you can see, it does have a very high stamina roll, armor, and ammo capacity on it. But as you can see, it'll drop the skill power down by 22k. But still, that is another option. And then you can mix and match depending on your playstyle. This may have a little slighter in armor and in stamina, but you get that extra skill power to make your turret even more potent and its health a little longer. And it comes in at 917 armor and 50% ammo capacity. In its mod slots, I have 247 firearms, 279 armor with 4% turret damage and another 4% turret damage. I'm using Savage Gloves, 912. Not the greatest of rolls. I'd rather it be like these Predator's Marks down here, at least 994. But these will work. 1232 and firearms. 10% damage to elites, assault rifle damage, and crit hit damage. Now you can easily have the trifecta and go with crit hit chance here. But if you want something to use both in incursions or in the LZ and in Dark Zone, then this balances out really nicely because you have enemy armor damage on the other piece, as well as you do the 10% damage to elites coming from your gloves. Now, I could use these Firecrest gloves, which have the crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and LMG damage, but as you can see, it's a really low armor roll. Now, moving on to the holster, I have good stats all across the board, 1219, 1239, and 1260, and in the major attributes, 670, and also coming in by the way of another 4% turret damage in my performance mod slot. Now, I'll go over you the different variations of what you can go with here. If you so choose to decide to go with such as this backpack, then you can either swap out for such as a sturdy holster, such as this one, to further your increase in toughness. And I forgot to charge my controller. Sorry about that. I think Lucky Larry was using my extension cord to charge up his buffer, so that way he can buff out all the dents and bullet holes of his used cars. But anyways, that's a different story for a different time. But like I was saying, increase armor by 15% when staying more than 4 seconds into cover. This is another viable way. If you're more of the sit back type and just throw your turret out and take your pop shots from within cover, since this is more of a cover-based shooter, but those people like to face tank here and there, and it, like I said, it just depends on your personal preference and your game style. Also, if you wanted to opt in for these gloves such as these and then go back to specialized, you're easily able to do that as well. And then you can swap out for either the Barrett's chest piece that will add an additional DPS to your build, but yet you're going to lose toughness. Or you can go with Vigorous to make your turrets even more potent, or either you can go with a Vigorous with stamina on it. So different variations all the way around. You could either do a Tenacious Mask. Preferably, if I could actually get my hands on it, I would actually go for the Pharaoh's Mask. The Pharaoh's Mask does play a nice role in this, just for the simple fact of, yes, you can be set on fire, However, you still are able to reload, shoot, and do all the nice things while, instead of just running around patting yourself on fire, acting like you're touching yourself, and so on and so forth. But overall, this is a really nice build if you're into the whole fire turret meta, which does come in handy. And for those that are in the DZ that aren't running the Pharaoh's mask and like to be getting set on fire because they spit that hot fire, um, it comes in real nice handy in such as a group play. Now, as far as going solo in the DZ with this build, it is very possible because you are still putting out DPS. And also, if they are set ablaze and you light them up, you get an additional 15% damage boost to your weapons because they are set on fire. Now, try out different variations of this build. I do recommend finding some kind of weapon, whether it be a AR, an LMG, or whatever the case may be, with the talent determined on it. So that way, if it is PvP or PvE, and say your turrets just went down or it's got kicked by one of those big fat pissers with the tanks on their back, then you can just kill 2 or 3 NPCs very quickly, very easily, and you have your turret immediately right back. And now let's go into the talents. As you can see, it does 6310 damage. Its health is 290k. So basically, the time that someone takes to actually shoot the turret at 146k skill power, they're not going to last too long, especially if they're up close because of the range, and they might get a few rounds off. But more or less, place your turret in a position to where it's very hard for them to take shots at it, such as a higher elevation point, because you do get the extended range on it. And you want to make it hard as possible for them to destroy your turret. And while they're constantly focusing on your turret and on a blaze of glory, as so to speak, then they're going to be taking damage, and that allows you or your other teammates to focus them and easily dispatch them. Also running with this, I'm running Booster Shot for the extra boost in damage resistance, and also the increased resistance and damage. And let's move on to the talents. As you can see, I usually mainly run with a group, so I use Medikit when not at full health to receive an overheal. I also use Triage because when playing in a group, if you kill one NPC, 2 NPCs, or if you're in a group of 4, be sure not to shoot your overheal, your booster shot, or whatever the case may be, while you have Triage on all at the same time, because if all 3 of your teammates are receiving it at one time, that's only going to proc 1 cooldown. So make sure they are individually coming into it, so that way you get the trifecta, the triple cooldown of the 15%, and instantly get your turret back. And also, you definitely want to run Wildfire. Applying burn to any target triggers a 30% chance to apply the effect to all targets within 10 meters. And also, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. Because if you're rogue and being chased, and your group has been dispatched, and you're left all alone, it's easy to drop one of these, such as going down a decontaminated hallway, and that'll give you enough space because it will absolutely slow them down because they will be set afire to allow you a better chance to escape or to get away or retreat back to whatever checkpoint that your teammates will be coming out at. So keep all this in mind. And big shout out to all our firefighters out there. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice and putting yourself in harm's way to save the lives of others during this holiday season. That's one of the main reasons why I waited. Be sure to check your Christmas lights and make sure if you have a real tree to make sure it's nice and damp, so that way it does not dry out and catch your home on fire. But as always, this is your boy Relentless. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you just stumbled across this video, I appreciate your view. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of shenanigans and my interpretation of builds or game style or whatever the case may be, smash that sub button and it's very much appreciated. And as always, there will be a sub giveaway coming up shortly, a $50 Amazon gift card. So be sure to get in on that. And also, I'd like to mention coming up December 16th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard U.S. time. There will be a 1v1 PvP King of the Hill style tournament. And to check out for more details and to sign up for this tournament, check out Upper Echelon Gaming on Facebook. It's an awesome, great community. And also, you can get in touch with me on the UE Discord server, which is www.discord.me/UEG. But as always, this is your boy Relentless. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Any comments, questions, or anything, suggestions that you'd like to have, or any other builds that you'd like to see me do, whether outside of the norm or whatever the case may be, please leave them in the comment section. I'm up for all types of challenges, whether they be outside the dark zone, in the dark zone. I mean, we've already done a all purple challenge and completely wiped out and took out all of DZ6 wearing nothing but purple, and even went manhunt and destroyed 6 other players. And while they were all maxed out gear, we had on purples. So, yeah, whatever your suggestions may be, I love your interaction. I love your comments. I love interacting with my viewers and my subs. And I hope I can continue to bring you even better content with your help and your suggestions, because I do this for you guys, and I appreciate all your support. So we'll see you budging later. Happy holidays, and thank you so much. We're creeping up on the infamous burglars here. They're like tormenting civilians in Manhattan, and we're about to light them up. I spit that hot fire. I spit hot fire. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. As you can see on targets out of cover that are on fire, it does that additional damage to them. And this LZ boss was quickly dispatched because of the flames. I hope to bring you more gameplay, but it is currently 5:30 in the morning, East Coast US time, and I'm pretty much solo. So I hope you enjoyed. Light people up, set them on fire, and keep burning, baby.